Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is very crisp but nice. It has been a nice sunny day today, just like yesterday. And I'll take this weather. If February is as mild as January, I'll take it. It was actually only one day all month that the thermometer dipped pretty low, maybe 9 degrees, something like that. But for the most part, it's been, knock on wood, a very, very tolerable winter so far. And what can I say? It's been a tolerable stock market too in the new year since Christmas. I know we didn't have our Christmas rally, but we sure had one hell of a post-Christmas rally, with the biggest single-day gain in the history of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, DJIA. We're not going to talk about that, however. We're going to talk about a special biotech report focusing on sesn, athx, atnm, CVM, ONCS, tndm, and gern. If I remember the names, it's sesn Bio, it's OncoSec Medical, it's CellSci, it's Tandem Diabetic Devices, or something like that. It's, what else? What else did I say? Actinium Pharmaceuticals. I think I got them all. In any event, we're going to have a nice discussion about each of them. We're going to look at the charts. The biotechs in general had a very nice little run over the same period of time since the day after Christmas till now. And except for maybe one or two of them, I'm thinking it's time to give a little back, along with the Dow Jones, along with Amazon, along with Apple, along with most stocks. I think the next 3 days might be a little tough sledding in this for equities. That doesn't mean I've turned bearish. It just means the next 3 days, I think, could be a little pullback. Maybe not. I'm hoping not. But these pullbacks are normal. I mean, after all, stocks go up, stocks go down, stocks go up. Did I say that before? Stocks go down. Yeah, I think we get the message. So normal, it's certainly normal to have a 2-3 day pullback. And I think that's all we're going to get in the stock market. Maybe even have a open on Monday to the high, that's green, and then pull back. So it'll be something along those lines. And remember, before I get started, I have to tell you, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly mine and do not constitute investment advice. Occasionally, Dr. J has incredibly great ideas, but also some terrible clunkers. It's your job to pick out and differentiate the winners from the losers. And if you can do that, let me know so I know which one of my ideas are better than the others. So let's get to the video charts. Without further ado, I keep thinking of my old friend Warner Wolf. Let's go to the videotapes. Time to go to the videotapes. All right, those are sports highlights. These are financial charts, a little different. Maybe not that much different. Okay, I'm sharing screen. That looks successful. You should all see my screen at this point. Okay, let's start with sesn. I will also tell you if I have a position in any of these, and I might, or thinking about entering a position. In the case of sesn, I have no position currently, but I am thinking of buying on any dip. Right now, it's trying to form a new upward trend line, getting away from the downward trend line it's been in. If that fails, I think we'll see support back at the old trend line, maybe at this level right about here, which would be probably somewhere near the lows of 66 cents, maybe 70 cents. So I see a nickel pullback in the cards, something along those lines. And I think I'm going to probably go in if it pulls back to that 70-cent area. All right, athx. This is the one of all of the ones we're going to talk about today that I have the most of. I have a nice large position in athx Inc. And it went up 10 cents and 4 more pennies after hours. Had a nice little move on Friday. And that's after a very nice move on Wednesday, coming off of lows on 118 of 138, forming a double bottom with the low on 12/24, which was at 136. So we have a double bottom here and here. And we're taking off as we would expect. We would also expect a little pullback before another test of the $1.80 area, which was support before and will be resistance now. This whole area from $1.80 to $1.85 is a hump we got to get over. Once we get over the hump, then I see an easy ride back to the 215 area, where it will be difficult to get by that. So 215 has been the line that it couldn't cross many times in many months. I see athx trading once again in 2019 between its old favorite lines, 185 to 215. And sometime towards the end of 2019, as we get closer to data, then we push through and maybe go higher than we have in a very long time into the threes. Forget the twos, I said threes. And that would be prior to the data readout of the ischemic stroke. I think that should be sometime early 2020. That's the story on athx. I've been repeating myself a lot, but it's fun to look at it because it's moving in the right direction. Gern is not such fun to look at because it's not really moving anywhere. Goes up at 8 cents, down to 8 cents, up 10 cents, down 10 cents. It's trading in a very narrow wedge, a narrowing wedge. So you might think that it's going to break out of this wedge one way or the other, either to the downside or to the upside. And I suppose that's true. It will break out. Probably way before the February 15th that I have down here, probably soon, sometime next week. I'm kind of thinking it'll give back even more. I just don't see what the impetus is for it to go up. The only thing I can think of is partner talks. John Scarlett would have to say we're in negotiations for a partner on IMET, or an outright buyout by some company that wants to take a chance on IMET. And if there is a buyout, don't expect it to be for $6. We're not getting our $6 back. It would probably be right at this level, $2.40. Maybe higher, maybe as high as $3, or the lows that we put in here, which would be can't see it, 134 maybe, I don't know. Anyway, no, $3. $3 seems reasonable. I'll take it. I'll sell anybody my shares for $3 right now. I still have about, I don't know, 20% of my original shares after taking a licking on Gern. I mean, I didn't take a licking per se from my buy-in price, but I sure took a licking from the $6.50 that it was hovering at before the decision by J&J to walk. All right, that's old history. Looking at Gern now, I don't think it's a buy unless you want to speculate that some good news like a partner or a buyout occurs. It's the only thing that's going to move this stock. I personally don't think John Scarlett and company and friends have the know-how or the stomach to take this all the way through to phase 3 and beyond. I think a partner is absolutely needed. Actinium Pharmaceuticals, ATNM. This is a stock that's had a tremendous run off its lows of 36 cents, I think. 36, but not that long ago. That was on 12/27, the day after the Dow turned in its phenomenal move. This bottomed and just took off from there. It actually hit 58 pennies, testing the downward resistance line, downward trend line. Bounced away from that and closed at 55 pennies. Now that's a hell of a move from 36 to 58. I mean, I'll take that any day. A comparable move would put us back in business, so to speak. Are we going to get further continuation of this rally? We have to get through these highs. The high of 62 cents. We get through that, I think the sky is the limit. That would be very, very positive. We could pull back along with other biotechs to about, over the next 3 trading days, to about 51 cents. I think that's entirely possible. So there we have it for actinium, Iomab A, Actimab B, whatever they're called. Some phenomenal drugs that pre-treat bone marrow prior to transplant. There's a definite need for these drugs. I think it's going to prove out in clinical trials. So I'm in it to win it with ATNM. CVM, another one of those stocks, data dependent, out of cash, needs money, needs data, positive data. Positive data will propel this beyond the stratosphere. So the question is, will the phase 3 trial of head and neck cancer of over 900 patients, the largest such trial ever, meet its endpoints? And I say it will. Who the hell am I? I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I have a strong feeling that considering the way the trial was designed and considering the earlier data readouts, I think it shows that to be a strong possibility that the endpoint be met, which is that the pre-treatment with the cell side drug multi-kine, it's kind of like multi-stem, which is the athx drug. You can get confused. Multi-kine, which is an immunotherapy drug, pre-treats before the standard of care, which is Keytruda, a checkpoint inhibitor, and maybe other drugs. I don't know exactly what's used, but it's pretty tough diagnosis to overcome head and neck cancer. It's squamous cell, and if it's advanced, it's like a 5-year life expectancy. Not very good. But with the CVM drug, I think multi-kine, pre-treating, and then going for the standard of care will give at least a 10% advantage. So that's my opinion. I like the design of the trial because it comes first. I don't like when the drug in the clinical trial comes last. I don't like that. I like when it comes first, when comparing to the standard of care, or stands alone when comparing to the standard of care. So I like the trial of this design. The earlier phase 1, phase 2 trial I think with a smaller group showed such efficacy. So I think there's reason to be optimistic here. When the readout will occur is anybody's guess. I think Gert Kirsten, whatever his name is, CEO, a while ago said it would be early 2019. Last I looked at my calendar, it's early 2019. So let's hope we get good news, and we get good news quick so that CVM can take off and make us all healthy and wise. Well, notice where it is now. It's not far away from the key support level at what is that key support level at? 257, 260. On any dip to this support level at 258, 259, 260, Dr. J will be a buyer and add to my position. I don't have enough CVM. I feel like I don't have enough CVM. So I'm looking to add. I'm looking to add on any weakness. I think there might be an opportunity over the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to find some weakness in the biotechs. Maybe CVM gives something back. If it gives a dime back, I might just add at 265, not wait for 260. This is my own thinking, of course, do your own due diligence. OncoSec Medical. OncoSec Medical, I still own some shares, but I unloaded a lot when it took its nosedive down on clinical trial data that I thought was excellent, and yet Wall Street said, no, it's not excellent enough. There was a handful of patients and that showed remarkable improvement when taking the Tavo drug together with, I think Keytruda first and Tavo second, something like that. I prefer trials that are the other way around. Pre-treat with Tavo and then do the Keytruda. But I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Keytruda first, Tavo second. The results were good, though. They were much better than Keytruda alone, I believe. So at this point, it's fuzzy. I don't recall the data that well, but I was under the impression, looking at the data, that it was pretty good. And I think it'll continue to be good with larger populations. So the problem, of course, is cash flow, money on hand, capital on hand, the constant need to raise money. Dan O'Connor is hosting a corporate update, I think February 1, that's going to talk about OncoSec's cervical cancer and melanoma trials, talk about other milestones that he expects the company to reach this year. I'm looking forward to hearing from Dan O'Connor on February 1st. Hopefully that'll help give the stock a little boost. Something should give it a little boost. I mean, it hit the depths of despair back here on 12/28 at a low of 54 penny, low of 54, 55 pennies. And now we're only, not that much above that. And if there's weakness over the next 3 days in the entire biotech area, we could come back to, I don't know, 60 cents area very easily. It could go down to this level here, the low of the day, 67 cents. Yeah, I expect a pullback of about at least a nickel on weakness in the whole sector. So if you want to add, that would be the time to add. I probably will not be adding, probably won't be selling. I'll probably just be holding. Tandem. Tandem made a very nice run, even from the short time we've been looking at it. We looked at it first on 1/8/2019. Tandem Diabetes Care, which has a device, a pump for type 1 diabetes, pumping the insulin. I guess it measures the blood level, and I don't know what else it does. But it's a high-tech device, apparently in much demand. As you can see, this huge run-up from low levels all the way to what? 52, 55 on 9/13. I think we're going to resume that kind of making new highs somewhere above that. But first, again, I think we're probably due for a little pullback. Maybe as low as the low here of about 39.68, $40 a share. What's the low here? 40.73. That might be a good place to get in on a pullback if you're interested in buying this particular stock. I don't know. I don't have a position in it currently. I do like the stock based on the chart. All right, that's about it for tonight. I'm sorry I was so delayed in coming to you, but Dr. J had technical difficulties. I did a video last night and I had to delete it. So hopefully that isn't the case now. Hopefully we have a phenomenally good production with my lips moving correctly. Oh, with the image of Dr. J with his hair muffed. Perfect image. Smile, Dr. J. Okay, so this has been Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York. I want to say shalom. I want to say sayonara. I want to say arrivederci. I want to say au revoir. I want to say hasta mañana. And hasta mañana because I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back. Yes, I'm going to be back either with BIOTECH 2 or pot 1. Pot stocks. What's your favorite pot stocks? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Adios, amigos. Ciao.